If you accidentally slept with my brother, would you never tell me?
Nah.
Ever?
Nah.
Okay, I have a problem. I have been friends with my bestie since primary school. We're in our early 20s now. And about 6 months ago, I was staying at her house and I accidentally slept with her brother.
You don't accidentally sleep with someone.
She
That's
fell and
not an
tripped. They
accident.
fell and tripped. We'd had a few drinks. I honestly don't know how it happened, but it just did. I didn't say anything to her because I felt bad and thought that it would never happen again. But
Oh, you slipped again.
she's clumsy.
Slippery claws.
She's slippery. It's super slippery. But we have started sort of sleeping together now, and I'm pretty sure I have feelings.
Oh, no, you have to tell her.
I'm in so deep. What do I do? How do I know if it's worth seeing him seriously and risking the awkwardness with this whole family that I've known my entire life? And if I don't decide that it's serious, do I still tell my friend regardless? Oh, you can't be that clumsy around your best friend's brother. Or can you?
Such a dog.
Me?
Oh,
Because
can you?
because I'm putting myself in the situation, and it's tough because I know people who they didn't slip and fall, but I know people that ended up marrying their friend's brother.
Yeah.
But I think they did that the right way. Like, I think that there
was a conversation first. Like, I have feelings for
I think it was
so-and-so.
Yes, it was very obvious. Like, hey, I think there's something there, blah, 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 blah. It was all consensual between besties, families, partners. Everything was consensual.
Look,
but like,
if it was one time, I would say just don't bother. Like, take it to the grave.
if you accidentally slept with my brother, would you never tell me?
Nah.
Ever?
Nah.
I'd tell you.
If I had sex with your brother and I thought you were going to be mad, because some people don't care, right? Some people are like, whatever, that's weird, but sure. And then some people are weirdly protective of their siblings and their immediate family. Like, I find that strange. I wouldn't care. Like, if you wanted to have my brother is I think he's 29 now. I can't remember. Actually, I should know.
Your brother's gay.
But
though.
he's very gay
Yeah.
and he's married to a man. So I don't think he would want to have sex with you. So I think I would be more confused if you guys had sex with each other, but like I wouldn't be mad. I don't care. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think she's going to be upset because they're friends with a brother. I might be reading between the lines. I don't think that's going to be the problem. I think the problem is more that you've been doing it for 6 months behind her back.
100%.
Like
it's gone too far now, but now you have to be honest. Now I think you, regardless of whether it happens or it doesn't happen, I think you do have to talk to your friend about it.
I had a friend that hooked up with my brothers once. Actually, I think it happened a few times when we were younger. Because I have two brothers that are older than me.
Totally, of course. It's bound to happen.
And I also hooked up with their friends too.
Can't blame you guys.
But it was awkward. When I knew my friend had hooked up with my brother, I was like, oh, cool. I hated it. I was like, it's so awkward to me because you know your siblings on a different level. And I guess as an adult, it sounds amazing. Like the ideal situation is if like your best friend or forever was with your brother and then became your family forever. That sounds like an epic situation.
But you also don't want to hear about the intricacies of their sex life.
Yes.
You don't want to hear about the fights they have. The things that you share with your girlfriends about their boyfriends or about their partners, you can't share the same level of that when they're dating your brother. It does change things. And also...
Yeah, you can't be like, he put in my butt last night. You're like, oh, bro, I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to hear about that about my brother.
Bro, literally, yeah.
But I think the other part of this is, and maybe it's where most people, when I say that there are some people who really get upset by this, what it is that makes them upset, it's not so much like this feeling of betrayal, but it's almost like, and it's not jealousy. Jealousy is not the right description for it, but it's like, you're my friend. Our relationship is so close, and now you're going to have a even closer / different relationship with my brother. There's this feeling of being the person that's triangulated from the relationship, which you kind of, this is what happens. But you were my best friend, and I guess like that is
You're mine.
You
I
were mine.
own you.
Like you were my friend, and now you're going to be best friends with my brother. Like what? And then what if you guys break up? Then you're going to ruin our friendship because you guys break up. Like I guess there's many layers, and so I do want to say I understand why for some people it's a no-go zone. But okay, let's just peel this back and start from the beginning. You did it once. You didn't think you were going to tell her because you thought it was an accident. You didn't want to make a big deal about it. It's clearly not an accident anymore. It's clearly something that you're voluntarily
choosing to do.
And you're sneaking behind her back so that she doesn't know. And so is he. When she finds out, which she probably will, these things always have a way of coming out at some point in time. She's going to be more mad that you lied to her about it than what she will be about the fact that you've had sex with her brother, I think. So the way I would approach this is I would speak to him first. I would have a conversation of like, look, this could end very badly for us. I love your sister. You love your sister. We need to have a conversation around, what is this? Is this just a casual thing and we're both super sexually attracted to each other? Or is something more here? Because I think that it will need to be approached differently depending on whether there are real feelings involved.
Yeah, you 100% need to know where you're going, because he could just think it's just sex and not want anything else and might not have the feelings that you have. Or maybe he does have the feelings and he's the love of your life and you're going to get married and live happily ever after.
But also, I think you need to remember, if you've been friends with him for this long and you've never, ever, ever thought of him romantically, like you've known him since you were a kid, you've never thought of him, like when
but
you
you don't have those feelings in primary school.
Totally, but when you catch the D, sometimes you also catch the feelings. It might not be real.
Well,
it could be the hormones.
You caught the B, then you caught the D, then you caught the F.
What's the B?
Besties first.
Oh, then the dick.
Besties, dick, feelings.
Feelings, fucking whatever.
And that is the foundation, ladies and gentlemen, for a really solid relationship.
I would have gone with FDF, friends, dick, feelings.
What did I say? Besties.
You said BDF.
That was weird. Besties, yeah. BDF.
Anyway, continue.
So, look, I genuinely think regardless, you need to tell her. It's just what you're telling her. Because if you've been hooking up for 6 months, that is going to come out. At some point, whether it's years down the track, someone's going to say something, the brother's going to be like, I fucked Betty once, right? I hooked up or whatever. It's going to slip out at the dinner table
out.
like it slipped into you. It's going to slip out.
Accidents happen.
100%. So I think have the conversation with him and decide what you want. Like if you don't, and I genuinely mean this, if you don't think you want a relationship with him, I would stop sleeping with him, because your best friend is going to be really upset. And if it's not going anywhere, you're not gaining anything other than a good couple of minutes, and that's probably accurate, a good couple of minutes, that you could get elsewhere, like if it's just sex.
Yeah.
Even if it's not going somewhere, I think I would tell her, maybe you can wind it down how much or how frequently or how often, because that might hurt, but it's important that she knows there's something's been going on, because she's going to feel very like you've been sneaking around behind her back, because you have.
And I also think it's a different conversation. If you went to your friend and you said, hey, look, this is going to be weird for you, but I want to be honest with you because I love you. I have feelings for your brother.
Why are you laughing?
Because I was putting myself in this situation saying it to you, and I certainly don't have feelings for your brothers. But like, if you did,
yes, I know that.
Like, it would just be, it's such an awkward chat. Like, I have feelings for your brother. This has happened. I know that this maybe will upset you, but like, I want you to know that the reason why I'm talking to you about it is because it's something that I feel seriously about.
Yeah. Is it okay if I date him?
I think that she will feel differently about that than if you were to go to her and say, hey, I don't really have feelings with your brother, but he's my fuck buddy, and we're going to continue doing that. Because as a friend, I would be like, okay, cool. I get that this means nothing to you, but our friendship means a lot to me, and you're risking our friendship by potentially creating drama with my brother. So
drama,
which means that like when it all finishes, and if it finishes messily, you're not able to come around to the house anymore, or you avoid things, or you've created a situation where it could have a negative impact on your friendship, I guess. And so I understand why she would respond differently depending on what the scenario is. So figure out how you actually feel, and also be really honest with yourself, because I know we joke about like, FDF, but the reality is that if you are having sex with someone, you will often catch feelings for that person. That doesn't mean those feelings are real. It doesn't mean that you actually want to date them. So I think objectively, try and look at this relationship and ask yourself, do you actually want this person to be your boyfriend? Strip away the friends, the brother, all the rest of it. Him as a person, would you want to actually date him? Or are you just getting caught up in the secrecy and the excitement and the like sneaking around and all that? Because that's gotta be sexy too, right?
And it's like we say this same thing when people write in about like, and I remember this one particular Ask Uncut, this one woman that I'm thinking of, she wrote in like she was the other woman. She was having an affair with a married man. She wasn't in a relationship. He was. And I remember her saying, I don't feel bad. It's fun. I enjoy it. I don't want anything with him. He doesn't want anything with me. And I remember my advice then, because I feel the same way about it.
She was like, I'm not doing anything wrong.
If it doesn't mean anything to you, go fuck someone else. That's what I wanted to say to that woman. I was like, you've said you don't have feelings. You've said it's nothing. It's never going to be anything else. Then there's 100 other people you could go and have sex with where you're not breaking down their whole marriage.
Totally.
I feel the same way in this situation, in the sense of if it's just sex, then you could probably get it somewhere else. But I do think your friend needs to know.
Okay, here's a question though. Like, let's move beyond this exact situation. Do you think it is reasonable for someone to be angry at their friend for having sex with a sibling?
I had sex with my brother's friend. So we dated.
I can handle my heart say I've never had sex with any of my
And a brother had
siblings'
sex
friends.
with my friend.
Okay, and so were you annoyed or you were just weirded out?
Just weird. But at the
Did
end
it change your friendship at all?
No.
Did it change his friendship at all?
No.
Okay.
It was weird at the time because I remember it was my brother's friend that had been, it was weird. It didn't last because I felt like he was like my brother. He'd been, you know, the brothers that you've grown up with them the whole life.
That's exactly like this situation.
Yeah, since I was 5 years old, right? This guy was in my life as my older brother's best friend. So I always just thought he was just part of our family all the time. He'd come for Christmases and then
he came over one day and you were like, all right.
Well, no, one day we had a house party and we hooked up. And I was like, oh, maybe this is the FDF, like friends, dick, fuck. But we hooked up. We didn't sleep together that night. We just kissed. And I was like, wow. And then he asked me on a date. He's like, I've got feelings for you. And I don't know to this day how he went about that. I don't know if he went to my brother and asked him but he must have. But I'll never forget. It just completely changed. He used to just come over and walk in the house. But the second he was taking me on a date, he came and knocked on the door. Dane answered and he was like, oh, I'm actually here to see Britt. Like
that's so funny.
And we went out for like a week and we both looked at each other one night. We're like, this is so weird. I was like, we can't do it. And we just called it.
Do you know, I mean, this is different, but it is actually pretty cute. The whole like how things change. I remember growing up in Wollongong at my nan's house, my two neighbours, there were two boys that lived next door, Wayne and Michael, who were our really good friends. Like we would always go over, we would hang out, we would play in their house. Like we were kids, little kids. We grew up like completely alongside them throughout our whole life. And when my sister like was a teenager, she started dating Wayne. And then everything changed. I was like, we're all friends. And he would the same thing. He would rock up at our house, knock on the door to come in. And we're like, Wayne, you've lived here. Like, just come inside. Like, what? But it does change things. And I think that's the other thing. You can't fool yourself into thinking that everything's just going to be the same. So that's why she's probably going to have some reactions. She's probably going to be weirded out by it a bit because it will change a dynamic within your friendship slightly, even if it shouldn't. The only thing is that the thing she's going to be the most upset about is the being lied to, is the feeling as though you're sneaking around behind her back and not telling her the truth because you want to get away with something. Yeah, I think just have a conversation with her, but talk to him first.
Like if I would care if
Wayne and Michael.
Wayne and Michael. What?
I wonder if they listen.
5-year-old's name is Wayne.
Where are they now?
Like I know they're grown now, but at some stage Wayne was 5.
Little baby Wayne. Baby Wayne.